Welcome, Cavalier fans, to Coach's Corner, Week 2. And so today we're going to review the Kenton game and introduce, I guess, and preview the Delphos Jefferson game. So we'll start with the Kenton game last week. Certainly it was a great night. For once, we didn't have any storms on the Kenton night, so that was awesome. The score was 42-0, and we felt obviously really good about that. And it was 35-0 at the half. The matchup, I guess, brought an experienced team for us against a really inexperienced young team with Kenton. So it really an unusual Kenton-type team. They ran the same things. Their spread offense, no back, no huddle offense the whole game. And their same defense that they've always run, the old Michigan State 4-3, and a lot of stunts up front and things like that. But the players just the matchup was in our favor, especially at the skill positions where we had 4, 5, 6, 7 skill guys that had returned, and they had lost all their skill guys. So that matchup was really in our favor. So we got off to a great start. I think we had 5 possessions in the first half and scored all 5 of those times, and we're really efficient offensively. We spread the ball really well. We had 5 touchdowns the first half, and 4 different guys scored those touchdowns. So we felt good about that. Jack Helmelgarn had a really good night. I think he was 16 for 19 or 15 for 18, something like that, and very balanced. P.D. Post had, I think, 90 yards rushing on 9 carries, maybe something like that. So we had good balance and really efficient. We made lots of plays. Defensively, it's just a different game. You just try to limit any big plays, which we did. They did get a couple first downs on a scramble early in one pass, I think. But for the most part, I think until the very end of the game, they had about 40 or 50 yards passing, and then hit a pretty long one that we ended up getting them stopped. So that was a good thing. I guess if you look at one of the things we're concerned about the last scrimmage and this game, we feel like we've had too many penalties. Several of those are on the kicking game with blocks in the back, and we had an extra point where a guy didn't one of them he flinched, and we had to move it back 5. Another one, one of our linemen forgot was PAT, and so he didn't get out there. So those are little things that in a big game could really cost you. I guess the other concern, is will our D line be able to hold up against a really stout offensive line, and we're going to get a great test of that this week. Fortunately. And so I guess just finishing up on the Kenton game, we felt really good about that. We came out of it really healthy. Avery Coles is the one guy who was kind of hurting a little bit before the game. His back is really tight, so may or may not see him Friday night. Looking at the Delphos Jefferson game, really good team, good playoff team last year with a lot of returners. They do pose some problems for anybody they play. Number one, on offense, they run a pure wing T, which you don't see a whole lot anymore, and they do it really well. They don't run a lot of plays, but what they do, they do really well. And so the other thing that really causes problems is they get from their huddle to the line of scrimmage and snap the ball within 5 seconds, almost every single play. So you can't flip-flop, you can't be running around, you can't communicate a whole lot once they get up there. So we're really practicing hard this week on trying to simulate that get ready, get down, and play your position and not have a whole lot of things to discuss or a whole lot of calls and things like that. So that poses some problems for us that hopefully we'll adjust to really quickly. One of the really good things this week on our defense, I just mentioned the D-line being a concern a little bit against a big, strong team. Malave Bettinger comes back, which is awesome. He was a full-time starting left tackle all offensively last year and defensive tackle. And so he comes back at probably 10 to 15 pounds heavier than last year, and he's really ready to go because he's practiced really through 2 days, but he really wasn't allowed to hit with a broken wrist. But he was running, he wore his shoulder pads, he wore his helmet, and he's done a great job of coaching the young guys, and so he's really ready to go. So that will really help us on the D-line. Their defense is really similar to Kenton with a front 7 guys, a 4-3 defense, and they mix it up a little bit, but not too often. So we're expecting that 4-3 defense and play a little bit more man coverage from what we've seen than Delphos Jefferson. So they do have a big, strong middle linebacker, about 220 pounds, 6'2", 6'3", 220-pound middle linebacker who's a really good player, and a couple big defensive tackles. So that's a I guess, a concern. But we faced 2 big tackles last week, so we should be ready for that. They come in at 1-0. They won last week, and so they're feeling good. They were an 8-2, I think, during the regular season and got beat in the playoffs last year. Like I said, with several returning players, so looks to be a good matchup. Very different offenses. We're as always our spread offense, and they're packed in their wing tee. I guess it's sort of like a matchup like against Bishop Hartley last year. Very, very different styles in how we do things. So we're looking forward to it. 7:30 start. I think it's supposed to be really hot this weekend, so I think that can be in our favor. I think we have more quality, good players and backups than they do, so I think that can be in our favor. So we're looking forward to the challenge Friday night. The Delphos Jefferson Wildcats. It'll be our second Wildcat home game, and next week Minster comes in as the Wildcats. So three home games to start off, all Wildcats. That's kind of interesting. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but looking forward to it, and hopefully tune in next week and check out the highlights, and hopefully we come away with a victory.